Hi everyone, welcome back to this new video for the Python and MCU connection tutorial. So in the previous video we have been constructing this communication manager and establishing the serial connection. So up to here, but within this video we will be able to add this GUI part for the connection manager where we will be using it for the next videos to understand the synchronization with the MCU, also having start and stop of the stream, adding or removing a chart and saving the data. So if you are interested to know how to construct this user interface in a very organized manner, just stay tuned and follow this video. In this video, we are going to focus on the user interface. So we are going to use only Tkinter. And within the tutorial, this video is a number 4, and this is a preparation for the communication phase where we will prepare the serial communication. So as usual, the code is available on GitHub. Just follow this tutorial. You don't need to copy it. Try to understand as much as possible. After that, also we are going to use only Python, and the code that the text editor is VS Code. The level here that is required is intermediate. You need to understand a little bit of Python to follow up, but I will try to explain as much as possible the steps that I'm going through. From the tutorial perspective, first of all, we are going to set up the communication GUI class. We need a new class to manage all the communication. After that, we are going to set up and display all the widgets. And then we'll prepare some methods with one S, for data display, because we will have a lot of bottom and dynamic widgets that we need to manage with methods. And finally, we will set up the close method. Okay, so let's jump to the code and start making our GUI. Here we are where we stopped at the previous video. So we do have a graphic user interface that where we can select and choose the board and the available port and connect. We do have a message and we know that we have connected. So up to this point, that's good. But now we are going to start extending more data here. So to start the communication. To do so, we are going to start by getting a new class. So let's close the serial and open the GUI master. And we do have two classes. And now we are going to add another class. Let's call it the con GUI, something like that. And that will be something that adding here. And we start as usual by the init function. Okay, let's remove known one. And within this one, we are going to take, as usual, the root. So we will be connected with root and also the serial. Okay, as we do have. So, and we will be initiating this one. So if we go to this GUI here for the communication GUI, and within the serial connect, and if, as we have seen in the previous video, if the connection is going well, then we are going to start the GUI connection. So let's use this one. So self.con, like that, connection will be equal to the con GUI. I don't have it here, so con GUI, and it will be the input for it. It will be self.root and also self.serial. Okay, so now we initialized and called the GUI. Let's give a little bit of stuff inside it to see how we will start initializing it before going to adding all the other widgets. So before that, also let me add here. That will be one of the GUI that can be activated, cannot be activated if it's called directly here. And let's start by here, as usual, self.root be equal to root, and quick ones, self.serial will be equal to serial. Okay, and after that, let's create the frame that later on and input the other widget on it. So self.frame will be equal to label frame, and the root will be simply the root, and the text text here, we will say the connection manager. Okay, okay, we are good. So connection manager. And after that, we can add a little bit of padding, not put everything stressed. Padding, we will put in 5, and also the pad y in 5 to base. The background white, as we have been beginning. And also let's put a certain width, maybe 60, and but we will see if this will be good or not. Let's put right here on the width. But anyway, the frame itself will not change as up to the elements. So let's put S. So here we do have one, but at the same time, what we should add, as we have done in the previous GUI too, let's add another method. We def like GUI open or something. So call it the con GUI open, and it will be self as usual. And we put here, for example, we change the root geometry because we are going to increase the size of the root. Self dot root dot geometry. Geo, yeah, geometry. And for this one, take, yeah, the dot geometry, and it will be in 800 multiplied by 120. So this is, and we need to put it all as a string. And also we are going to put the frame in the grid. So self frame dot grid. So this is will display it, but unfortunately right now we don't have the element inside it, so be able to see it. The row equals 0, but the column here where things are interesting, we need to put column 4 because if you remember, the other GUI of the communication is in it takes 3 columns, and for this one row span also same row span equal 3, and column span would be equal 5. Column span, and then we add as usual pad x 5 and pad y will be equal to 2. We are good. So let's run again and see if everything goes well. So if we go here and we go for connect and nothing is happening, something here, you have the connection. Why is not? Yeah, of course, because I am not adding at the end here the self dot con GUI open. So that's what will change the site. Okay, let's try it again. Yep, and connect. And we do have the extension. Perfect. So now that we have our GUI and GUI extended and the frame added, we can start adding all the other elements and explaining each one of them. Okay, so within this step, we will be mainly working between the initialization method for the GUI con and also the open. So we'll be adding the elements one by one, explaining their role in the GUI and also just to make the display. So to move quickly with that, I will be just copying paste and explaining each one of them. So let's go with the two first labels that will explain what is going on. So I will add here the labels, so we don't waste any time. So the first label here is to explain synchronization status, and this is one where we are going to send the first message, as we have seen in the previous video, the first message to see if the microcontroller is programmed in a way that it will understand the protocol or the communication. And the second one, in the second label, which will be in front of it, will be in sync, and the color will be orange. So as far as it's not okay, the color will be orange and there is something not going right with the communication with the microcontroller. So by doing so, what we need to do is just to put both guys on the grid. So we go here and we add this one here. So we do have those two one ready. The first one is in column 1, row 1, and the other one will be on his right, and it will be in also in the row 1. So let's save this quickly and show you the picture here. So let's quickly see what would happen if we connect. And yeah, and you can see sync status and it's sync. So it's waiting to synchronize with the microcontroller. Okay, let's go for the next two labels, which will be under the labels that we introduced right now here. So for this one, it will check how many active channels are ready within the microcontroller. So you remember in the previous video, this is a message which will be sent by the microcontroller during the synchronization. And then based on that, the Python program will build the Python program, sorry, will understand how many channels to prepare for that. So, and immediately after that, just copy paste also and to put in the grid. So same for these two one. We put these two one here and we run this quickly to see what would be the result. So if we go here and connect again, so you can see I didn't save. That's a shame. Or actually, I didn't save actually. No, it's not I didn't save. It's a bit wrong. Oh, I should have put it here. I should not, and this is a good for you guys to get what's going on here. So I should first create the object and then put it on the grid. So if we go here and connect, so now we can see the active channels, but we don't see the 4 end, which is a little bit annoying. Why? Okay, because I prepared also, I need to put some pad Y here. So let me add this one. So this is a quite a very, I'd say, optional that I would add. And this is the graphic parameters that I'll be adding. And this is to keep everything in a way that you can maintain in a very easy way. So by putting the pad Y here, so self.pad-y, it should be working now. Yeah, sometimes I do some aesthetics and I forget about it. It's not the most important, but it can generate some issues. So let's connect. And we do have the 3 points, which are quite well. Good, let's move on. But from now on, we will be adding buttons. And those buttons do have a little bit of, not an issue, but we need to, when we will be adding them, we'll not be able to run the GUI because those buttons, yeah, so the first button, start the streaming. So this button, when will be clicked, it will be starting the stream, but we don't have this command yet. And if we run right now, we'll have an error. So we will wait a little bit. But as you can see, this is a disabled button. And why it's disabled? Because as far as we didn't synchronize with the microcontroller, we should not be able to start the stream. So the Python should not, or the program with Python should not allow you to start getting data as you are not, how to say, synchronized with the microcontroller. So same for that, we just put, so actually it's not only that one. So we do have start stream and stop stream, just to put two different buttons to be sure that we control the stream. Both of them, this one will be stopping and also disabled for the moment. So what we are going to do is just also to grid both these two nice bottom in, and we put them, oh my god, I put them in the wrong method. So as you could see, this is the method. It's not that wrong, the program will be working, but from organization perspective, that's not the logic that we wanted to start. So I will be adding them here. So now that's correct. Okay, so after that, we do have two other buttons, which will have a little bit of a different colors, but their principle is here. So let me add here these two other buttons. So now this bottom, we added the bottom for starting and ending the stream. Now we are adding the button that will add a new chart or a killer chart. So as usual, they will be disabled, and also they will be calling a function that we will need to add later on. So we will put it a function and put a pass for this part of the video, but it's important for you to understand that we need to put the functions, else the program will not work. Then finally, we are going, so before that, I have to put them in the grid. Yeah, let's put those nice guys in the grid like this. Okay, so they are gridded now. And now we can jump to one of the last um, um, widget that we do have with a little bit of logic. I put it here, but this is really this widget we will going back to it really later on. And this is a checkbox for saving the data. So if we check the box, the text, the program should start saving the data. And they'll be adding from the same time a small new variable called self.save and false. So we keep it like this for the moment. We will get back to maybe in 10 or 9 videos, and we will be using this one and also this function. Okay, final one that we'll add from aesthetic perspective. So no, before that we need to put in the here. So we need to, no way, I should not add it here. It should be added here. Yeah, not always easy to catch up with this program. So imagine this is a little bit of program that I tried to model to make as a module as much as I could. So imagine if it was all in one sheet, it would be quite very difficult to handle. So let me put this on the grid right now. Okay, in the grid. And we are good. So now we put it everything that we needed to have. So we can check it. We will check it later on. We will add the function and run the whole thing. But now that we added everything, we need to prepare a function to close everything and destroy whatever is there so we don't have a duplicate. I think you may guess it about it, but as we do have a closed GUI, an open GUI, we will create the con GUI, the enemy of the open. So let's put def con GUI. So we create another method here, and we call close, and we add self. Okay. So this one we are going to use a special thing. So we are going to make a loop for widget. So we need to make this widget. And in self dot frame, so this is the one that we created, but dot, and this is extremely important, wininfo underbar children. Okay, so this will generate a list of all the children inside the frame, and that's where we can find all the power of the frame and how it helps for organization. So what we need to do is put widget dot destroy, so we can destroy all the widget inside it. And after that, we will put self.frame.destroy. Okay, so but just to let you know, when you destroy the frame, normally all the other widgets are destroyed inside that frame. But just in case, I'm always having this double security, so we clean everything. Else some stuff can stay in the memory and it can generate a double or other errors by pointing to the right object. So this is kind of security I'm taking by myself. Self, and then after that, we get back to the normal size. So geometry, I have to improve my English somehow. Geometry, and we get back to the normal size that we do have, which is 360 if I'm correct, multiplied by 120. Okay, so let's then take this method, and where we are going to use it, it will be in the connect, not if things goes well. So we put if here, but actually here, and that will be one of the first things that we will be running. So we will put self.beacon here and dot this one. So we will be running the close here. Perfect. I think we are good. We do have our close GUI ready, and now we just add all the functions that we put it with the bottom. So we'll add all the methods actually here, and we can run our program and check if there is any issue or something else. Okay, we are at our last step, so we just go quickly through the method that we do have. So we close this one and we go through the bottoms one by one. So the first one is the stream, so that's the self start stream. So we take this one and we create the method here. So def here, I know it's a little bit of repetition, but it's important for people who like really and are not familiar with the method and the object to get this exercise. So here we will put a pass and then another def here. Let's go quickly. So the start, now the stop stream. Yeah, and all this one we will be looking at them in the next videos. So that will be really fascinating to understand how to use them and how also to include the threading, which is extremely interesting when you use with the serial. Okay, this one def here self, so the one that adds new chart pass, and after that let's go back again. Where is it? So at bottom, so this one, new chart, kill chart. Okay, def kill chart. Yeah, it's a really not good name. I could use like remove chart, but somehow when you're not in the good woods in Monday, so okay. And then the final one for the saving the data, def self and pass. Okay, I think that's a bit wrong. Should be good now. Let's close. We got this one open. We should see a big transformation now. Okay, up to here it works. So happy. So far so good. Connect. Yeah, we do have everything. So we do have here sync, start, stop. And here this is that would add the chart. This is will remove the chart, and this is a save. Okay, let's add a little thing, that a small separator or a bar between these two ones, just to be a little bit fancy. So to do so, it's quite not difficult. So we are going to go here and let's put it after this one. Just if I remember well, so we call it self.separator, liberator, and it will be equal. We will need to use a TTK. This is something we need to import. Dot separator and separator like this, and it's just self dot frame, and we need to put it in a certain, yeah, this is the origin and the orientation, and like this, equal to a vertical. So you see this will not be working, as first we need to put it on the grid here in the open one. Let's add it to the grid. So it will be self dot separator like this dot, and here we need to put a place, not the grid. So place, yep, I'm sure I'm correct on this one. And we need to put about the relation of x and y. So from x we would like to put it, I hope I make it correct, 0, 5, maybe 50% of the distance, and then relation to y here will be 0, because I would like to have it straight to the y. And after that, I will put the width. So this is relational width. So dth equal 0. but we would like to have it really thin so we can use it like will not big, like it will not be really big. And after that, what we would like to do is to add only one parameters, which will be the real, that's difficult to say, uh, relative height equal 1. So it means that we would like to have our height exactly same from that. Let's go to the top and add another thing from Tkinter. And I would like to import GTK. Okay, it should have disappeared. Let's save. I'm a bit suspicious about the relation with X. With X, okay. Okay, just a moment. Bring, connect, board, connecting. Okay, that's not good. Let's put 58 just to see. Bring it again. This one, this, here, connect. Sounds good. We have something that looks like a separator. Beautiful. Now we do have our connection manager ready, and we can jump to the next serial communication for the sync. Thank you and see you soon.